This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife. I'm guessing he noticed a bunch of people posting about his anniversary, which reminded him, oh, it's my anniversary. So he then reposted this sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her.
Donald Trump has blown up on live TV before, but this time it's personal. After Jimmy Kimmel dropped a shocking truth bomb about Trump's marriage during his show, the former president completely lost it. I mean, we've seen Trump rage tweet, but this meltdown, it hit different. So now everyone's wondering, did Jimmy just expose the cracks in Trump's perfect relationship?
Trump White House pressured Disney to censor Jimmy Kimmel. Now, Disney is the company that owns ABC, our network, and Jimmy Kimmel is me, so obviously I was interested.
In a monologue that quickly gained attention, Kimmel jested about the Trump's unconventional sleeping arrangements, suggesting that the couple doesn't share a bedroom. This quip wasn't pulled from thin air. Various reports and insider accounts have long hinted at the Trumps maintaining separate bedrooms, both during their time in the White House and beyond.
And Blake Shelton, who was sexiest man alive in 2017. And technically, there were 3 sexiest men alive if you count my cover of Costco Connection.
During their tenure in the White House, Melania and Donald Trump reportedly occupied separate bedrooms. Sources indicate that Melania preferred her own space, leading to the first presidential couple since the Kennedys to have such an arrangement. This setup wasn't entirely surprising to those familiar with the couple's dynamics. Melania's biographer, Mary Jordan, noted in her 2020 book, The Art of Her Deal, that the Trumps maintained separate bedrooms, with Melania favoring a lighter decor and Donald opting for darker tones. Their differing schedules also played a role. Donald was known to wake up at 5 a.m. and watch television, while Melania had her routine. A former housekeeper mentioned that their rooms were on different floors, adding that they spend time in the same place but they don't interact.
Donald and Melania sleep in separate bedrooms. She was laughing too hard at my monologue at night. But really, joking aside, this is a blatant abuse of power.
Kimmel's jest about the Trumps' separate sleeping quarters wasn't just a comedic jab. It echoed long-standing rumors and reports about their personal lives. By bringing this topic into his monologue, Kimmel tapped into public curiosity about the couple's relationship dynamics, blending humor with a touch of reality. In the same monologue, Kimmel took his humor a step further by delving into the intimate details of the Trumps' nightly routines. He humorously described Donald Trump's snoring as being so loud that it's akin to a freight train having a baby with a chainsaw. This vivid imagery painted a picture of a cacophony that would make restful sleep challenging for anyone sharing the same room. Kimmel further jested that Melania might resort to wearing noise-canceling headphones just to get a good night's sleep.
He's one of the dumbest human beings ever. He should have listened to his wife. What a dope.
When Jimmy Kimmel took jabs at Donald Trump during his late-night monologues, it didn't sit well with the former president. Trump's response was swift and, in typical fashion, unrestrained. He took to social media, particularly his platform Truth Social, to voice his displeasure. In a series of posts, Trump labeled Kimmel as one of the dumbest human beings and a fool, criticizing his performance as the Oscars host. Such remarks are consistent with Trump's history of lashing out at media figures who mock or criticize him.
But according to the story, in 2018, Donald Trump, who was at that time president of the United States, was so upset about my jokes that I made about him, he directed his staffers at the White House.
But Trump's reaction didn't stop at online insults. Reports have surfaced that during his presidency in 2018, Trump was so irked by Kimmel's jokes that he directed his White House staff to take action. According to insiders, Trump instructed his aides to contact Disney, the parent company of ABC, which airs Jimmy Kimmel Live. The objective was clear: to pressure the network into reining in Kimmel's comedic barbs. This move underscores the extent to which Trump was willing to go to suppress criticism and control narratives that he found unfavorable.
Crackers are up 40%. Oh, that's terrible.
40%. Crackers are up 40%. Trump media stock is down 80%. Why, we would have been better off investing in a box of saltines.
This wasn't an isolated incident. Trump's sensitivity to media portrayals has been well documented. For instance, he has previously expressed disdain for other late-night hosts and shows that lampooned him. his attempts to influence or suppress unfavorable media content raise significant concerns about freedom of speech and the role of satire in political discourse. The fact that a sitting president would attempt to censor a comedian highlights the thin line between personal grievance and the misuse of political power.
We are announcing the launch of the Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary Gina Collection. This line of beautiful plates commemorate all of my and the third Mrs. Trump's most romantic moments.
Kimmel, for his part, didn't back down. In response to the reports of Trump's attempts to silence him, Kimmel addressed the issue on his show with his characteristic humor. He quipped about the absurdity of the situation, highlighting the lengths to which Trump went to stifle comedic commentary. Kimmel's response not only underscored his commitment to satire, but also served as a reminder of the importance of comedic critique in a healthy democracy.
Phrase on The Apprentice. Meatloaf, you're fired or semi-fired. But then, just a few hours later, the Office of Personnel Management said responding to the email, it was not mandatory.
This episode is emblematic of the broader tension between the Trump administration and the media. Throughout his tenure, Trump often labeled unfavorable coverage as fake news and sought to delegitimize journalists and entertainers who criticized him. Such actions have sparked debates about the role of the press, the boundaries of free speech, and the responsibilities of public figures to tolerate dissent and satire.
You have a huge tax return. But you know what would be nice? A full release. Dickerson asked Trump if he still stands by claims that President Obama wiretapped him.
Madeleine Westerhout, who served as Trump's secretary, offered an intimate look into the couple's daily interactions. In her testimony, she described moments that portrayed a conventional marital dynamic. Westerhout recounted instances where President Trump would ask her to inform Melania if he was running late, saying things like, "Honey, I'm going to be late for dinner." She emphasized the mutual respect between them, noting that while Trump was her boss, Melania was definitely the one in charge. Westerhout also highlighted lighthearted exchanges, recalling how the couple would wave to each other through the windows of the White House, adding a personal touch to their public personas. Stormy Daniels herself provided testimony that further complicated the narrative. She described an encounter with Trump in 2006, during which he allegedly downplayed his marriage, suggesting that he and Melania occupied separate rooms and implying a lack of intimacy. Daniels' account portrays a man who compartmentalized his personal and public lives, presenting one image to the world while living another behind closed doors. The theme of separate living arrangements has been a recurring topic in discussions about the Trump's marriage. Reports have long suggested that the couple maintains separate bedrooms, a claim substantiated by various insiders. Mary Jordan, in her 2020 biography, The Art of Her Deal, noted that the Trumps had distinct personal spaces, both in the White House and their private residences. This arrangement was attributed to differing personal preferences and schedules, with Trump being an early riser and Melania favoring a different routine. Westerhout's testimony offered additional context to this arrangement. She recounted how, during evenings when Trump was working late, he would call Melania to inform her, indicating a level of routine communication. These interactions suggest that, despite separate living spaces, there was an effort to maintain regular contact, reflecting a functional partnership.
He was backstage vaping when this happened, so. But since you think my wife gives good advice, maybe here she is with some advice. Molly, please.
Jimmy Kimmel's playful sparring with Donald Trump has been a recurring theme on late night television, but in September 2024, the feud took a personal turn. During a rally, Trump mocked Kimmel's performance as the Oscars host and falsely claimed that Kimmel's wife, Molly McNerney, had advised him against making certain jokes. In response, Kimmel invited McNerney, who is also the executive producer and head writer of Jimmy Kimmel Live, to address Trump's remarks directly on the show.
Thanks to you, women in 21 states can't make their own choice about their own life and their own body. And 10 U.S. states make no exceptions for rape or incest.
Taking the stage with an Emmy in hand, McNerney addressed Trump with a blend of humor and pointed criticism. She highlighted the tangible consequences of his policies, particularly focusing on women's reproductive rights. McNerney noted that due to the Supreme Court justices appointed during Trump's tenure, a significant number of women in the U.S. now live under stringent abortion bans. with some states making no exceptions for cases of rape or incest. She emphasized the real-world impact of these policies, stating that women are suffering and medical professionals are facing challenges in providing necessary care. Her remarks, McNerney suggested that Trump retreat to Mar-a-Lago, indulge in his hobbies, and allow competent women to take charge. The audience's reaction to this segment was overwhelmingly positive. Viewers appreciated the candidness and the personal touch added by McNerney's appearance. Her remarks resonated with many, shedding light on the broader implications of political decisions on everyday lives. This episode not only showcased the unity between Kimmel and McNerney, but also underscored the power of using one's platform to address pressing societal issues.
Tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania.
The ongoing exchanges between comedians like Jimmy Kimmel and political figures, such as Donald Trump, highlight the essential role of satire in a democratic society. Comedians have long served as societal commentators, using humor to critique and shed light on political actions and policies. This tradition underscores the importance of freedom of speech, allowing entertainers to challenge authority and provoke thought among the public. Trump's reactions to comedic critiques, often marked by public outbursts and attempts to suppress dissenting voices, raise questions about the tolerance of political figures to satire. Historically, leaders have been subjects of comedic scrutiny, and embracing this scrutiny is seen as a testament to a healthy democracy. A former president displaying sensitivity to such critiques may inadvertently draw more attention to the satire, amplifying its reach and impact. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.